Welcome back, everyone. The Samsung Galaxy S22 just came out officially, so let's go and compare it against the iPhone 11 and see which specific phone you should go and pick up. Now, I will tell you both these phones you can buy brand new, probably buy the iPhone 11 used for a little bit cheaper. I will leave both these phones linked in the description for the cheapest prices I find. You can get them from there and help support the channel at the same time. That kind of rhymed. That kind of rhymed. That's crazy. Now, looking at the front, there's actually a lot of similarity between them. The iPhone 11 actually has a 6.1-inch IPS panel on the front, and it's a pretty good looking panel too. I love this phone. It's not amazing, it's an IPS panel 750p, but it could be worse, and I do think for the price tag that it is, $499 brand new, around $300 in the used market, it's not a bad choice, and I do think the panel is pretty decent. You do have a notch on it, you have a little bit of bezel around it, but I don't know, I kind of like this phone. It's definitely not ugly. With the Galaxy S22, on the other hand, definitely a much better looking phone in pretty much every single dimension. The same size, 6.1-inch dynamic AMOLED display, 1080p, and 120 Hz. Without a doubt, this is a really good panel. You have a hole punch display as well, and without a doubt, this is a better looking screen in pretty much every single area. So without a doubt, the Galaxy S22 wins. You also have a fingerprint sensor in the display as well. Interestingly enough, the thinness and thickness is very interesting because both these phones kind of give me the impression that they're pretty thick. The iPhone 11 has a curved side to it, the Galaxy S22 has a flat side to it, so that's a little bit of a difference too. I think the S22 feels like a thicker phone, although they're probably around the same thickness, to be honest. Now on the back, we have a very similar type of kind of whiteness, silverness to it. The Galaxy S22 has a triple camera setup, and the camera bump sticks out a lot more than the iPhone 11, which sticks out a little bit but not that crazy. Dual camera setup on the iPhone 11, wireless charging on both, IP certification on both. We do have reverse wireless charging on the Galaxy S22, which is amazing, and that really pretty much covers it up on the outside. There really isn't anything super crazy between them. Now, even though the iPhone 11 came out in 2019, we're still getting software support for several more years. This thing's going to be lasting for quite a bit of time. It's not like tomorrow this thing's going to be outdated. It's going to be here for quite a bit of time, which I'm a huge fan about. So when it comes down to this specific software experience, I like iOS, I think it's great, but it's still going to be supported probably for another 3 to 4 years, maybe even 5 years with security updates and everything. But the Galaxy S22 is just getting started. Since this phone just came out, we would expect, Samsung, this phone's not going to last that long, whatever. However, Samsung's been doing a great job at expanding their software longevity, and Samsung is promising 4 years of full OS updates on the S22 and 5 years of security updates, which I think is going to be awesome. I can't wait for the future of this device, and that makes picking up phones like this a little bit better because one of the biggest complaints was Samsung not supporting their phones for that long, and that's not quite the case anymore. So I'm a fan of that, and I can't wait for the future of this phone. That pretty much covers it up there. Now let's go and do a speed comparison between them. The Galaxy S22 has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset inside of it with 8 GB of RAM, where the iPhone 11 has that Apple A13 Bionic chip inside of it with 4 GB of RAM. So let's go and see which one is a faster phone between both of these. Okay, there we go. Let's go and clear the apps in the background, which I think they're already cleared out. So let's get into it. Let's do phone calls. 3, 2, 1. Pretty much the same thing. Let's go into their cameras. 3, 2, 1. And kind of the same thing too. Not that big of a difference. Hopping onto this one, let's get into their app stores. 3, 2, 1. Definitely the Galaxy S22 is faster there. Something about Android phones and opening up the Play Store, that's like where they put all their energy in. Now scrolling through, I do think actually they're both kind of interesting because the iPhone 11 seems a little bit smoother, although the S22 has that, 120 Hz display, which is really nice. Now we can go and get into something like these. Let's go and open up Clock real quick. I want to see this app. 3, 2, 1. Pretty much the same thing. So let's go and start loading up some of these third-party applications between both these devices. Let's do Dune, which I don't think I have here. I do not. So let's get into Temple Run 2. 3, 2, 1. Now, I just remembered S22 has an issue where this game randomly crashes on this phone. Very annoying. I don't really understand it, but even then the S22 was faster to load into it. So even if it does crash, it was faster to load into it, which is important to note. And I guess, so it did crash, there we go. So, take it as you will. It was faster, but it didn't crash here. So some advantage for the iPhone 11 there. Snake versus blocks, 3, 2, 1. And the S22 was faster there by a little bit. iPhone 11 a little bit behind. Getting into some gameplay, it's going to be roughly around the same thing. Hopping out of there, let's get Stack. 3, 2, 1. And the S22 was faster to load into the ad, followed by the iPhone 11 a little bit later. Snapchat, which I do not have here, which is very weird. So let's get into Fruit Ninja. 3, 2, 1. And both kind of got the same thing, but the iPhone 11 kind of loaded that one up a little bit faster, at least to get into that prompt. That's very, very interesting. Kind of surprised me. Let's get into thank you. 3, 2, 1. And S22 definitely faster there. iPhone 11 a little bit behind. Again, nothing crazy, but definitely something to note. I will be doing a full speed comparison between both these phones at some point. Let's do both at 3, 2, 1. But this is just kind of like a quick one to kind of get an idea. S22 definitely faster here. The iPhone 11 a little bit behind. So that was definitely very interesting. I think that one was still loading and I exited out of it. Now there's some interesting overlap between some of these applications. I mean, we do have things like Netflix, 3, 2, 1. iPhone 11 faster here. The Galaxy S22 a little bit slower. Very, very strange. We do have things like Facebook as well. 3, 2, 1. I could be logged in here. I don't remember. So I am logged into an account here. The iPhone 11 was probably a little bit faster, but it could be because of that account. But ultimately, that kind of covers up most of the applications I wanted to test. To be honest, I don't think there's that crazy big of a difference between these two in terms of performance, which is so crazy. I would probably say the S22 is more times faster than not, but it really wasn't as what I was expecting, if that makes sense. I was expecting the Galaxy S22 to be faster in every single area, every single time. Not quite the case here. So in terms of that, that kind of covers it up there. Now let's go and hit on the cameras. Now on the back, we do have a triple camera setup on the S22. We have a wide, ultra-wide, and telephoto lens. The iPhone 11, on the other hand, has a wide and ultra-wide sensor. 4K at 60 on the back, with the S22 does have 8K capability, which is amazing, and 4K at 60 on the front as well. Now, in terms of the camera UIs and everything, you're definitely getting many more features on the Samsung Galaxy S22. I mean, that 8K capability is pretty crazy, but you can even tell here how better color accuracy is on something like the S22. I will be doing a full camera comparison between all these, like I mentioned before, but it's very interesting how great of a job the Galaxy S22 is. The iPhone 11 is still a really good camera, especially if you're talking like social media applications. Samsung mentioned that it was better, but I didn't really notice it being that much better, to be honest. Portrait mode, everything like that. The 4K at 60 is the big thing, though. I love those higher resolutions you can film in. However, with all that being said, something like the Galaxy S22 is still a really, really good camera. I love this phone a lot. I think it has a ton of capability. Zooming in and zooming out, you have a lot of stuff going on here too. And that's something that I love about these phones. You know, you have so much stuff going on with these devices, and it just makes it that much better of a phone over time. I don't think it's like the most perfect device of all time, but it's a really, really good device for sure. So I'll probably tell you the S22's camera is better, but the iPhone 11's camera is still really good as well. And that kind of takes us to the end of the video. And to be honest, I do think the Galaxy S22 is probably the more flagship phone. I mean, you're getting things like, bigger size battery, you're getting the, high resolution display, 120 hertz display, a hole punch display, whole 9 yards. I mean, 8K capability, reverse wireless charging. I mean, I can go on all day. It definitely does feel a little bit more premium as well than the iPhone 11, but the iPhone 11 is such a staple. I love this phone a lot, and for it being a couple $100s cheaper and substantial, I mean, this phone is like almost half the price in the used market compared to the S22, and that's something that's awesome. I like this phone a lot. I can never see myself like going back on this phone or like hating on it by any means. I would probably say something like the Galaxy S22 may be better for some people out there, but the iPhone 11 is one that's, cheaper. It's, really good phone, and the speed was one thing that still surprised me. I don't know if it's the S22 not being as fast as, they claim it is, or the iPhone 11 still being faster, but I don't know. The speed was very similar between these two as well. So in terms of that, that kind of covers it up. Like I mentioned, if you want to pick it up, on Amazon, links are down in the description. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.